All right. What's up, YouTube? Bobbles and Ball Cards back with another video. Hope everybody had a great Sunday. Unfortunately, it is 9 o'clock Sunday night, so you all know what that means. Tomorrow's Monday, and we got to go back to the grind for the week. There was no sports on today except for baseball and hockey. I didn't check the hockey scores. I'm slipping.
I don't want to tell you, man.
Capitals lose?
Yeah.
Oh, man. They're down 3-0, I think.
3-0, yep, exactly.
Yeah, that's crazy. Anyway, guys, tonight, as always on Sundays, I try to do the little group live session, get some people, the subscribers, learn more about each other, share knowledge, that sort of thing. Tonight, we have someone that's been a follower for a while, a subscriber for a while. Y'all have probably watched some of his videos. He does a lot of YouTube channel reviews, does some talk, about the hobby and everything like that. And that would be none other than Ziggyno. Coincidentally enough, we don't live far from each other, and this is the first time we're meeting face to face, remotely. So anyway, I reached out to him a while ago about coming on. We finally got this set up with scheduling and everything. So tonight, we got Ziggy on, and Ziggy, tell everybody a little bit about yourself, your hobby background, your YouTube thing, all of that, and then we can get into it.
Sure, thank you very much. So first of all, thank you very much, and thank you to everybody out there. It's great to see so many familiar fans and friends and people out there. Really appreciate it. So I'll say I stumbled across your page probably back in March, maybe April. I started looking at YouTube channels, and just to give you my background, I've been, as one of the guys back in the hobby as of 2015-16. My kids got me back into the hobby. My kids got me onto YouTube. I've been doing a lot of Facebook stuff for several years. I like the Facebook communities. But my kids got me back when they started following YouTube channels. And I found your channel. And one thing I love about Bobbles and Ball Cards is that you're just down to earth. You're down to earth guy. You give good.
Yeah, I've said it before.
You're not selling anything. I like your opinions. And I just found it as a home. So I sat in your chat for a while, listened for a while, then I've communicated with some people, and it's just been great. I really like what you're doing. So why I got involved in YouTube was I kind of wanted to be the counterbalance to all the hype. I wanted to be the voice of reason. Right? I think one thing you and I both kind of share in common is that we both have a lot of knowledge of it from personal experience, and a lot of new people in the hobby, and I'm looking to kind of share that with them. So when I started by researching YouTube channels, and I just decided I'd start putting out a daily update on, hey, I know everybody can't watch hours of YouTube, but if you have a few minutes, here are the channels to go watch, and here's what you're going to catch, and here's why. Because there is a lot of great content out there. So that's kind of what I started with. Since then, I also put out my own content when topics arise, whether it's, grading or, selling or buying. I kind of, put out a video or put out my 2 cents on it. So I just really like the hobby and the community and getting that involved.
If I remember correctly, before you started doing the daily YouTube, like the daily update thing,
Yep.
You did weekly
Yep.
YouTube content. And not to brag, but to show that Ziggy has been around for a while, I am pretty certain that I was the first
Yep.
channel you ever mentioned in your first ever weekly YouTube content review.
That's probably very true. And just to give the background there, I was talking to friends, and it really came down. I have a lot of friends in the Facebook world, and I would tell them, hey, did you see what happened on this? Did you see that? And they go, no, I didn't. So I put together these short videos for my Facebook groups on, hey, here are the things to go look at that's going on YouTube. And it was channels like what you have, right? And I'll tell you here where it comes from. I'm an admin in a lot of different groups. And I'll say, for example, I'm an admin of Sports Card Investor. I'm a volunteer admin in his group.
And I don't hold that against him.
Yeah. And
me and Ziggy talked earlier, and I didn't realize it was like a 3-hour conversation about just everything.
Yep.
And, sometimes I might have a different opinion or a different view, or people might think things I say, they see it a different way, or they have a different plan. And that's one thing, just like me and you were talking earlier, your plan's different than my plan, but it doesn't make either plan wrong.
Yep.
your opinion versus my opinion, we come together in a common way of seeing each other's opinion.
Yeah. I think that you have to appreciate other people's perspective, right? You should always try to look at what's the other person's goal and why are they doing what they're doing.
Right. We're all in different aspects. We all have different goals. We all have different plans. We all have different. It comes down to even we all like different teams, different players. We see things differently, different sports.
Yeah.
It's just so much, and my wife likes to call it passionate debates.
Yeah.
When somebody might post something, and then I try to give my side of it. I'm not necessarily getting pissed off at the person. I'm just, when I'm sitting here talking and you can hear me and all I can read is words, sometimes it's hard to put those together, and maybe somebody's, the way I say something comes across wrong, or the way I read something comes across wrong on my end. Yeah. Just like earlier when me and you were talking, we didn't agree on everything, but we seen each other's side of it.
Yeah. Well,
and
to kind of get to my point, so I admin in a lot of groups, and what I've seen is that I want to help people in those groups, right? And the best way to help them is to create a video. Because like you just said, if you text somebody, here's how you coin a card, or here's how you find the comp, people don't understand that. So I like creating videos that can show them, here's how you do something, here's how you use something. And I'll even say back to the sports card investor, I'm an admin in the group. I will tell you right now, I don't promote the product to anybody. I don't push the product to anybody. If you use it, I'll be happy to talk to you on how I use it and share stuff with you. If you don't use it, I'm fine with that. I don't care. I understand it's an expensive investment, and
I gave you my reason earlier, and you perfectly understood.
It's not for everybody. I mean, to me, it's shortcut stuff. But again, it's no magic in it. It's just pulling eBay data, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think the challenge is that a lot of people aren't aware of what's going on. Or they get siloed into only watching one channel or one provider or one breaker or one sports card, local sports card company or whatever. So if you're siloed in, you only hear one voice. So that's why I'm a big fan of just communicate information. Like I love sharing what other people are doing on their weekly reports or what they're finding. Like for example, this weekend, I learned just this weekend, the National was canceled. Now it was canceled last week, but I didn't hear about it until this weekend on a YouTube channel.
Yeah, we heard about it I don't know, was it 3 or 4 days ago or something? Yeah. So yeah, I think a lot of people that watch my channel also watch your channel, and it's a great community. That's the one thing about YouTube that's awesome. Not everybody meshes with everybody. We had a discussion about that earlier. Yeah. We won't get into that.
Well, again, I just think that everybody, we're all collectors. Everybody's got, and I say that in the sense, I don't care if you're an investor or collector. Everybody is going after a card for a reason. Whether they're trying to sell it, or keeping it for a PC, or they're giving it to a friend. We all have that desire to go chase in the hunt. And I think again, what I've always said to people is golden rule, and I mean that by treat people the way you want to be treated. Okay, even when you get in a heated debate or an argument, somebody step away, take a second, and think about how you would feel if someone was like that to you, right? Even the little things like shipping. When it comes to shipping, like when I ship a product to somebody, I will also follow up with them typically a few days later after I know it's been delivered, and just send them a text message. Hey, did you get the package? Okay, everything's cool. No, it's just again a little thing that I'd like people to do for me. So again, I just think golden rule: treat people the way you want to be treated, and I think that's the key. The hobby. And you hear so many great stories of the hobby. People are really good in the hobby. They want to help each other out.
Yeah, and there are a lot of great people, and that's one thing that I've enjoyed. Like I've talked about it. One reason I started the YouTube was because, I started it really back in December, but it was opening up, a blaster box here and there, and I tried doing this little weekly thing called $20 in 2020, yeah. And I'm kind of glad I gave up on that when I did, because, I couldn't find product, so it wasn't going to work out anyway.
I was laughing you're so right. You picked the wrong year to pick the 20 for
Oh,
Q. Right?
yeah. I mean, it was a great idea. I thought, hey, this is something cool. I could do, spend $20 a week, go grab some fat packs or a blaster or whatever, and just catalog through the year what $20 I was able, what I was able to pull throughout the year off of spending $20 a week. Kind of like a budget type thing, but on a small budget and just strictly sticking to the retail. Now, obviously, if there was more than $20 worth of product there, I would buy, a couple blasters or whatever. But to show, $20 a week product on, that particular video, it didn't work out. I also realized there's, tons of channels that are opening a box, and people enjoy watching that. But what really got me back into it was, as you said, March. That's when the channel kind of started becoming a channel, really. Because before March, I had 22 subscribers. And I got my submission back. And I was like, well, let me just do a video. And I didn't do a preview or nothing. I got the submission back. And I just wanted to show the slabs off, show the cards. And before that, I was on Reddit. In all of the, the hockey, the baseball, the football, and the basketball groups. And I met a lot of people on there helping them out. Like, I'd get messages all day long, just questions and stuff like that. And I was like, I could do something with this. But when you get into that social media type platform, there's a lot of trolls.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, I don't get on blowout forums, which I know that's something that's huge in the hobby. I don't get on there. I honestly don't even know how to use blowout forums. And I live near blowout, you know that. But I stepped away from the Reddit thing and got into sharing information on here. Especially, and I've said it before, the investor or whatever that has the funds or has the knowledge to go about doing things in their plan that's worked for them, my channel may not help them. They may think, well, this dude's lost his shit, he doesn't know what he's talking about. But to a new collector, because I try to stay more in the budget friendly area, I have nice cards in my collection, but I've learned I don't, and we discussed this earlier as far as breaking. I learned I don't need to chase the top card. I don't need to chase the Zion logo, man. I don't need to chase the NTRPAs. I stepped aside, refocused, and realized just by grading these cards, I can turn a $5 or $10 card into $40, $50, $60. Yep. 10 of those turns into $400, $500, $600 on $100 worth of raw cards.
Yep.
So that's when I really refocused. That's when things kind of started moving in the right direction, instead of, like I've talked about, hitting a sweet card from a break, and as soon as it comes in the mail, you throw it on eBay and you sell it. You don't even get to enjoy it. You take a picture of it as a memory.
Yep. No, you're absolutely right. I think you and I both kind of talked about this, the evolution of breaking, and you kind of go through that experience. Like, I learned a lot from breaking. I still do break every now and then, but I agree with you. I think the biggest lesson I learned is patience is so important in the hobby. I mean, patience really is. People will overreact and say you got to sell a card immediately that's at its highest when it's hot when it first comes out. There's truth to that, but there's more truth in, first of all, buy the right products, right? Buy focused products. Yep.
That's a perfect example.
Yep. But buy good products and then spend the time to invest in them, right? I did the same thing. Like we talked about earlier, I was in breaks, and you were kind of chasing the money. You get a big card, you sell it because you get more breaks. You got to step away sometimes and budget and send some of those cards away for grading. That's kind of what I did in the last 12 months or so, is that I do more grading. I'm more patient. I'm enjoying the hobby more. I'm a lot like you said too. I'm more focused on budget. In fact, it's funny. I don't spend a lot of money on cards individually. I don't buy a lot of high-end cards. I'd rather spend money on lower-end cards that I see upside on, or buy a good card that I see grading on, or else take a good card that I have with high value and trade it for a good card, right? But I don't do a lot of just buying expensive big cards. I guess I was talking earlier. I got a bunch of Trey Youngs back, and right now I'm using those to trade for other stuff. Right? I don't need to sell them all. I can use them as equity to trade.
Exactly, and
Relationships to trading too.
right, and you can also you can add things like just because you have a card that's let's say $600, it may not be of a player you enjoy. It may not be a player that you even feel is worth the $600. But you could take that card and turn it into maybe three $200 cards of players that you have, an attachment to, that you like watching, or you want to collect, or you just have this feeling about them. You see that it factor in them. And if you have the patience, you can let that grow. And then you might have three $600 cards versus, one $600 card.
Yeah. But so I taught my sons, and we started doing this year, is that we try to buy cards under $50 that we will grade, right? Because we want to basically, for the grading and everything, we want the cost to be about $50 per card. That would we send it away, and then we look at cards, and if they come back 9s or 10s, we know if there's a value in that associated with it. So again, we try to keep our budget small. We focus on small cards. We don't go chasing $100 cards, and then we include in there the shipping, the insurance, whatever it is for the grading, and just what we're doing is sending a few cards away each month. And I'll tell you, for kids, it teaches them patience, it teaches them business, it teaches them the value of the dollar. So I think patience is a very important and something that lacks in the hobby. In fact, I'm a big Star Trek fan, and I make the comment that Vulcans would make really good sports card collectors. Ferengi would, because they're too emotional, right? If you were just logical about this hobby and look at it from a logical standpoint, there's a lot of fun that you can have in a hobby, and you can make money. And it's not about making money. You can sustain your habit in the hobby.
Right.
I think that's the goal too. You can sustain a habit where you're collecting and investing, and you don't have to put new money in. I think that's a great place to be, a great equilibrium.
Well, the other side to that is, and I know some people's going to think, well, why are you teaching your kids to sell cards? Cards are supposed to be collected. Now, I'm going to tell you, as you mentioned, trading, and as you mentioned, selling. I have said this story before. About 5th, 6th grade in elementary school, all the way through till probably my sophomore year in high school. I didn't, I wasn't into the parties, and I wasn't, into dealing illegal things. But I always made sure I had the coat with the inside pocket and the binder stuffed in the backpack to where I could sell cards and trade with my friends and make deals and try to obtain the cards I wanted. And I made some wrong moves. That's why I just recently, about a month and a half ago, picked up another 55 Bowman Hank Aaron because I had one as a kid and I made a stupid trade with it. Yep. So it's different today with the way the market is and the dollar figures we're looking at. But at the same time, you're teaching your kids really the current day version of us going to school and selling the cards to our friends, saving your lunch money up to buy something, or trading. So I completely get that.
Well, I started them. It's funny. So my kids, we collected for about 5 years. First 2 years, we didn't sell anything. So we just started selling a few years ago. When they started seeing the money coming back, they were aware of it. Like, hey, I want to buy stuff. So I didn't push them towards the selling. They just saw that and thought it was fun. What I did do for them several years ago, I have 2 CMOC accounts because I have one for each of my older sons to manage. And I thought that was a good way for them to be able to go in and buy cards and sell cards at relatively low values, right? And they enjoyed that. Their biggest complaint is, well, Dad, it takes too long to get the money. So normally I'll pay them the money before the money gets processed or whatever. But I just thought it was fun, again, to at least teach them the business side of it. And I do also encourage them to have a little PC to hold some cards for a long time, put some cards away. But it's just been really, really fun for the hobby. It's really, for me also, I'm a divorced dad, so my kids don't live with me. So the hobby is something that we use to connect with virtually, right? We can talk, like tonight, my son will probably watch this tonight and later on talking, hey, Dad, I saw you on last night on Bobbles and Ball Cards. It's that type of stuff, really helps I'll tell you too. It's the number one reason I'm in the hobby is for my children. If my children had no interest in this, I probably would not be as interested as I am right now.
It's just like I told you earlier. Like my kids, my son will be he's almost 20, and then my daughter, she'll be 15 in November, and they don't really have the sports interest, but they understand why I'm in the room doing cards, or on eBay, or they'll help open packs, or when the grading packages come back, they'll open them and go through them. But they know that what I'm doing right now and the plans and the moves that I make, is to have stuff, whether it be for them,
Yep.
or if they have children, or whether it's not until I'm gone. Cards have been around for over 100 years.
Yeah.
And if you play your money safe with what you put it into, you can have, like, I don't know crap about the stock market.
Yeah.
So the cards are more my thing than the stock market. So if I can put back, like, safe investments long term, and I'm not talking buy this guy today and then in 2 months he goes up and I'm going to sell him. That's why, the LeBron rookie. Okay, I'm up over $2,000 on that card, or whatever it's at right now. I don't even know what its current value is. But anyway, I could have sold that, but long term, it's going to have value.
Yep.
And so when I hand them down, or whatever, I know that's something that is still going to have value for them in their future. The modern current stuff you can play with and then invest that into the longer term goals.
Well, another thing too, I've had some family passed on who had collections, and not sports card, they were coin collections or score stamps. And I'll say it's also just something, you remember the person for that. Like, you'll always remember, hey, my dad was a sports card collector. And
Yep.
It also teaches, in my opinion, entrepreneurialism, right? Because you see that, hey, your dad works, but he doesn't come home, he's not sitting on the couch drinking beer and eating pizza all night. He's got a hobby, he does something, whether it's making something in the woodshed or you're working on your sports cards. I just think that shows positive, something positive to your children, that, hey, use your time to do something with it. And also, for my kids, I've shown them that, you can get almost any card you want in the hobby, but you just don't go out and buy it. Like, my kids wanted a Luka, right? So we showed a way on how we're going to go get Lucas. And we had a plan, and we did that, and now they got theirs graded, they've got their card. So, I think the hobby is a very positive thing for so many reasons.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Okay, so when we talked earlier, I told you I would allow you,
I got some
because you said you had some questions. So,
yeah. For the audience,
pick my brain, ask the questions. Hopefully I can help. Hopefully I can answer them.
So I'll say for the audience, one of the reasons I wanted to do this is that I want to use this video as a resource down the road, right? So I can say, hey, I had this great conversation with Brandon. He's got great answers. So when it comes to baseball, what I want to talk about, let me lay it out for everybody, and we'll kind of break it down and unpack everything. Yep.
One thing, in your daily thing that you did this morning,
Yep.
you called me an expert. I am never and will never consider myself an expert in anything. So
Fair enough.
I just wanted to make that known.
That makes me, in my opinion, even a more expert, because those are real experts, the people who recognize that they're always learning. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate that. So when it comes to baseball, like, I'm really good in basketball. When I look at stuff, and here's my son started asking me, Dad, why are there top Series 1, Series 2, and why is there update? And how long has that been happening? Because when I look back to my cards, I remember we had update packages, but we basically had tops, and they had update for the rookie. So can you kind of break down just the general, and this is what's called the flagship, right? Series 1,
Yes.
2 update.
Right. Okay, so to answer your question, how long has there been a Series 1 or Series 2?
Yep.
It actually dates back, and obviously, since you didn't know about Series 1 and Series 2, you wouldn't know this story. It dates back to 52. The Mickey Mantle, as we all know, is a very expensive, iconic, legendary card people want.
Yeah, yeah.
In 1952, a couple guys sat down, kitchen table, they drew up 1952 Topps, the first Topps baseball set. They put out Series 1. Well, Series 1 was a huge success. So, when they went to put out Series 2, which included the Mickey Mantle rookie card, which actually it's his Topps rookie, um, Series 1 was such a huge success, they produced more for Series 2 to anticipate how well Series 1 did. What happened though is football season started. People lost the interest in the baseball cards. So they did not sell as anticipated. They ended up trying to give them away, and people didn't want them. And they had a warehouse full of these things that they had to get rid of. They ended up dumping them in, I believe it was the Hudson River.
Holy shit.
And that is one reason the mantle is so coveted, is because it didn't get, bought up like anticipated.
So in 2051, there was one series, and then some guys get in a room in 52 and they go, "Hey, we're going to do Series 1."
51 was Bowman.
Okay, so 52's Topps, and they come out, they do a series. So why was Mantle not in the series? Because it wasn't called up at that time, and then they made Series 2 with him in it?
Mantle was in Series 2. Basically, and I'm not that in depth with the vintage side, so I can't 100% quote how many cards are in the 52 set. In today's set, you have 700 cards.
Yeah.
Series 1 is card 1 through 350. Series 2 is then 351 to 700. Series 1 always comes out basically beginning of the year. You have opening day. So Series 1 comes out beginning of the year. As you just noticed, Series 2 just recently came out. Normal conditions, July is All-Star break.
Yep, and that's when it comes out.
So Series 2 comes out around All-Star break. And then Update, what Update is meant for, and are you familiar with the 89 Topps Ken Griffey Jr.?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, back in the day, they made it in as a set.
Yep.
And it was called Traded and Rookies.
Yep.
What the Traded and Rookies set was is players throughout the year that had been, traded before the deadline and everything, and then rookies that were called up or whatever got placed in that Traded and Rookies set. But those weren't, it's kind of different than Update now, because now you can buy the packs and the boxes, retail, hobby, all of that.
Yeah.
But the Update series, that is essentially what that's for, is rookies that got called up, September call-ups, made their debuts, stuff like that, but it didn't happen in time for them to be included in Series 1 or Series 2. So they do Update series.
So let me ask this though. So when Topps is putting together the 700 cards, okay, there's so many players they decide to pick. They're not picking every player in the MLB, right? Do they decide, is Mike Trout in Series 1 and not Series 2, like if those 700 cards, or is he in both Series 1 and Series 2?
Sometimes they won't have a base card.
Yep.
But you got to think. There's 30 teams in MLB.
25?
And they have, I think it's 25, but then in September, it's an extended roster.
Yep.
So you're looking at, what is that? 600, 750.
Yeah.
And then you have like the All-Star cards, you have the record breaker cards, you have the stadium cards that they put in there. So all 700 cards isn't a player.
Yeah.
So
when did they decide? Like, for example, I look back to the last few years of baseball. Topps has a lot of power then to decide when the rookie comes out, whether it's in Series 1, Series 2, or Update. Like, what determines that? And me as a collector, how do I know which do I want to buy? Do I want to buy? It seems to me that Series 2 and Update have been the products to buy in the last few years because they're going to have those rookies that move. For Series 1 in the last few years, looks like it's just been kind of a dead product. Is that a misunderstanding?
Not always the case. You like 2017 Series 1 had some good rookies in it.
Yeah.
It's basically, I guess the best way to say it is, Bowman.
Yeah.
And Bowman is all prospecting, trying to predict who the next great young player is going to be.
Yep.
Well, based off of the connection with minor leagues, and this is where baseball is different than most other sports. Hockey has minors, basketball has like the G League, football doesn't have any, semi-professional minor league kind of team. So basically, they have the top 100 prospect list. They can kind of predict what players are going to be coming up. By Series 1, they usually know who's going to be on a roster. Now, they don't know who's going to pan out.
Yeah, I agree.
They don't know who's going to pan out. 2020 has been a complete cluster.
Yeah.
Because, quite honestly, I think if this was normal time situation, I don't know that if Lewis Robert would have been up yet. He might have came up around All-Star break. I don't know for certain if Topps would have planned for him to be in Series 2. Now, they may have, since they included him in opening day as a short print. But I really would have expected him to be in an update type player because he was projected to come up.
Yeah.
But this year, like Alec Baum just came up with the Phillies. Dylan Carlson just came up with the Cardinals. Those are the type of guys that they don't have a rookie yet, so they'll be an update. All of these kids that are coming up now, getting these opportunities due to COVID or players opting out, injuries, that kind of thing, update might be loaded. If Wander Franco comes up, he could be an update.
When does that happen? When will they just announce update, and when will we know?
Update should be more towards. I can look the release up if they have it.
I know this year is definitely different because of things, but in traditionally
it's end of the season going into playoff time.
Yeah, and then Topps Chrome, which is out right now, that is both Series 1 and Series 2, correct?
It has players from both, yes. In rare occasions, players that are in update will actually have a rookie in regular Chrome, like Acuna.
Yeah.
Acuna actually has a rookie in 2018 Topps Chrome, and then he also has one in Chrome Update. Mm-hmm. But his rookie card is in 2018 Topps Update, although the bat down is the one people pay out the wazoo for because it was a short print in Series 2.
Yeah. Which also impacts the value of the product. That's why that product costs so much, right? Series 2, 2018 sealed boxes are pretty expensive because they're chasing the bat down Acuna.
Right.
Now,
that's a big card.
If I'm a baseball collector, then right, which do you recommend people chase? Is it the Series 1, Series 2, or do you recommend Chrome, or do you chase all three? What do you?
I love Topps Chrome.
Okay.
But I'm going to tell you. Okay, I gave my viewers in a video the other day a tip because, as we know, Fernando Tatis, you released a video earlier, and I put that out there that, anyway, I've been trying to update on the Facebook page players to watch out for, keep eyes on, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
This is the biggest secret in baseball cards because people still don't understand.
I agree. I don't see those anymore. And I'll say that I watched your video on this when you did this a few months ago when you broke one of the sets and showed all the different rookies. And I'm thinking, why aren't more people doing this? But I have not seen a single set.
I'll tell you why.
What do you do with the cards that you keep after you break that set?
I have all of my sets. That behind that flag behind me is a big walk-in closet. I have all of the rest that I don't pull out to grade. They are in there because, example, right now, the kid for the Tampa Bay Rays, Brandon Lowe,
Yeah.
he's heating up. You don't know. He could become one of the hot players in baseball, and his prices go up. Well, he's in Series 1. So I don't want to just throw all them cards away. I keep every baseball rookie I pull.
Yeah, I keep the rookies. I will say I used to donate all my base cards to the Boys and Girls Club. As I told you earlier, like I donate all my old Prism cards. Now those are worth tons of money, so I'm a little more cautious about what I donate. But I was just kind of curious because I have a bunch of Topps Chrome from like I want to say 2017, 18 that I've just been kind of holding on to. But I don't know what to. I've stripped out all the rookies. I took all the good cards out. So.
Well, I say I love Topps Chrome because I'll be honest, I don't buy a lot of Bowman simply because the secret is out on Bowman Chrome and the prices that prospect cards get in the first Bowmans and all that.
Yeah.
But anytime I have broke Bowman Chrome, dating back to when they even did football and basketball, I always did good. Topps Chrome, same way. I don't know if you've ever seen me talk about it or show it, but last year, the CSA show.
Yep.
So the fall CSA show, we were walking out, and I can't remember the name of the people, but there was a table right there as you walked out of the show that had boxes. It was a shop from Tennessee, him and husband and wife.
Mm-hmm.
So me and my wife we stopped before we left. We bought one box of 2019 Topps Chrome, one box 2019 Topps Series 2. It was like, I don't know, $160 total, something like that for both boxes. Well, we get home. My wife likes to open with me. We split the packs. First pack of Chrome she opens, Tatis Red Wave out of 5.
Wow.
Huge card.
Yeah.
And then this year, we went down to Card Seller, which about Card Seller. And I told this story last weekend. This year it took 2 boxes.
Damn.
But we pulled the Robert Auto out of 150. So we love Topps Chrome. Yeah, I'm planning on 3 boxes next year, but we love Topps Chrome.
No, it's a good product. It's a good product. Let me ask this too. We were talking earlier too about you mentioned Bowman. If you look at baseball cards, the crown jewel, the grand card is a Bowman first auto, right? That's the top of the.
Yes, sir.
And then what about in flagship? It's flagship. It's the rookie card is normally the top card.
Yes.
There can be that variation sometimes too.
The variations get value, but the most like recognized and coveted card, or the one that the collector wants, is going to be the rookie. Now, obviously, like example, the bat down. That's where things get sticky because it's not his true rookie.
Yeah.
But it's his first
Flagship.
Topps rookie.
Yeah.
And being that it's a short print makes it that much more valuable and wanted. It's just like not many people know with Acuna, he has his Topps Update rookie card. But then he has 3 short print variations. He has one where he has on a red and blue like warm-up batting practice shirt.
Mm-hmm.
He has one where he's standing near a dugout with his glove in a white uniform. And then he has one where he is in a white uniform batting. So those are all, they do short prints and then super short prints. The red and blue jersey is the most common. It's the short print. The one at the dugout is the next most common, and then the big boy would be the one where he's in the white uniform batting.
Do they ever give the print runs on those short prints?
Not that I am aware of, no.
Yeah, honestly, I know Panini doesn't either with their checkerboard stuff.
I can't remember if they put, I'd have to look at a box, honestly. I can't remember if they put the odds on pulling a photo variation. I do think they put the odds on there, but I don't think they give a print run.
Is I was going to say, so baseball. What do you think about patch cards? And are patch cards as popular in baseball as they are like in basketball and football? You know, the RPA kind of patch. We talked earlier about what the definitive, and diamond.
We talked about that, and there was actually a product that I forgot about. Okay, definitive is a product that it drops pretty. It's one of those that if you don't sell it at release, it's probably going to go down some. Diamond Icons, similar thing. There's Luminaries is another product. I'm going to tell you, if there was one that I would have to say holds value and is looked at as the high end. Some people would say Transcendent. I don't think so, because Transcendent is a $25,000 box that has almost every card the same, just some of the numbering is different.
Yeah.
I would say Dynasty.
Okay.
Now, Dynasty is expensive, and there's only one card per box.
Mhm.
But they have some of the nicest patches you can get. The cards are all lower numbered, and from what I've noticed as far as the high end and as patch cards go and that sort of thing, Dynasty would be what I would consider the RPA.
It's funny because the one reason I like baseball to me is that I like baseball because I really focus more on the rookie cards and the autos. I don't chase as many. I honestly don't chase any RPAs in baseball. That's why I was kind of curious. It doesn't seem like it's as popular, but there definitely are some phenomenal products there that people are in, and I guess they have pretty good resale value. Do you think, like, you're seeing the same resale value in this market? Are those products taking off, the high end one products as well, or like what a Diamond King card, are they selling for like $20,000? Like when I think of like Zion and NT RPAs.
Oh, you mean a Dynasty RPA versus an NT? Oh, hell no.
Are there any baseball RPAs that go for those crazy numbers or anything like that? Are they in tens of thousands of dollars or?
Bowman.
Yeah, Bowman, the auto.
You don't need the jersey.
Yeah.
You don't. I mean, this is what gets me. Like,
it's a whole difference, right? I think that's what I like about baseball. Baseball is really about, and again, one thing I've always said, the rookie auto is really the most important thing in the hobby, in my opinion.
Well, let me ask you this, because you follow breaking and different aspects of the hobby and basketball. The RPAs. Let's look at the Zion logo, man, and let's just be realistic. That bounty, that 500,000, 600,000. What is the purpose of that? Because we all know it's not game used.
I know.
They're not even game used patches. So why people spend $10, $15, $20, $30,000 for a piece of colorful, cool looking fabric?
The guy wore for 1 minute and took off.
They're not. It even says in there,
Yep.
It's event worn or player worn or whatever. They don't even have game used in National Treasures,
Not anymore.
and people pay extreme prices for it.
Yeah.
And that's what I don't get. I think flawless, normally, for the most part, flawless patches are game used.
Yeah.
And, I would think they should be the more true RPA now and kick NT to the side.
I agree. Well, I think, first of all, a lot of people don't understand that RPA is rookie patch autograph, and it's supposed to be a patch, which means it's supposed to be either lettering or logo or something off the jersey. It's not supposed to be just a piece of the jersey. That's called a rookie jersey patch. And back in the day, these used to be, like you said, game worn. They were worn in a game and then set up. And what's happened, a few years ago, they stopped doing game worn. They did player worn because they couldn't get the product out in time. They had too many redemptions. And you're right, the quality's only started to decrease, although the prices continue to increase, which is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, if there's a single, like, from what I've seen, and I've seen, I don't know, 8 or 10 of the Zion RPAs that were pulled. Yeah. I don't see how any of them is going to get a gem mint grade if people decide to grade them.
Yeah, you're right.
Because every single one of them are chipped up.
Yep.
And, I mean, it's like, why... I get, I guess, and I don't want to make this sound bad because if the people got the money, it's their money. Let them do what they want with it.
Yeah.
But it's almost like the hobby at some sort of point has become more of status symbol and not necessarily enjoying the cards themselves.
I agree. Well, I always say this. Up until this year to me has been weird, okay? Because before this year, I think there was much more people just collecting for the passion, and more people will admit they didn't make money in this hobby, right? A few people did, but most of them were just sustaining or even able to reinvest in collecting. This year, with the rise of all the value in cards, stupid people are making stupid money. You don't have to be good at this game. You just have to have cards, and you look like you're good. So you're right. They're showing off cards. They're showing off a stack of 10 PSA 10, Prism cards. Although most of them are silvers, they're retail cards, right? They're not like you said, they're not high-end numbered cards or exclusive cards. So that's why I'm curious to see what's going to happen. It's been an interesting year.
That's the other thing that I've never understood in my life. Prism Silvers in basketball, or that's what the people want, right? Of the rookies. But it's no secret. Retail Prism produces more silvers than any other product that you can buy for the value. Now, I'm not saying if you go buy a hobby box, you're not going to get, 3, 4, 5 silvers, whatever it is. I've never bought one, so I don't know exactly. But the price point, and that's one reason that secret got out. But if people know that, all it takes is some cellos to pull a couple rookie silvers out of it, then why are they still at that coveted price point? Yeah. Because one of my subscribers and a guy I talk to all the time, he was buying John Morant's, and I put it out there to him because I absolutely think they are one of the best looking Prism cards that are made. Mm-hmm. And the population of them is minute, and people don't even value them. That's the Purple Wave.
Yep, you're right.
Beautiful card.
Very rare.
But it is a tough ass hit because they were blaster only, and it might have been 10 to 20 blasters that you hit one. Yep. The population, I think he told me he looked it up, and the population was 60 something on the jaw.
Yeah. Yep.
And he said when he went on eBay there was 3 listed, I believe, something like that. But he got that cheaper. I'm pretty sure he got it cheaper than a silver.
Yeah. Well, you're absolutely right. I mean, and that's what I'm saying. This year it's been really weird because looking back a few years, and we talked about this earlier. So it was 2016 when Ben Simmons, right, comes out as a draftee and decides he's not going to sign with Panini for autographs. He's so damn good. He's like LeBron. He's going to sign with Upper Deck. That decision, in my opinion, is what made silver rise in value because Panini still was a dominant basketball player. So if you were chasing basketball, you couldn't get an autograph of Ben Simmons. So what did you get? You went for the silver. And I remember in 2016, 2017, those cards went for $2,000 silver prisms, which at the time set records. And I also remember it changed the hobby because I remember people would watch it and go, it doesn't make sense why a non-numbered retail card has more value than a numbered card, an autograph card, a patch card. And at the time, people just said it's the exception. Silver prisms are the exception to the rule. Now you fast forward to 2020, and there's silver prisms in everything, right? Optic has them, Select has it. Every freaking product has a silver in it, and everybody assumes there's this value in it.
And what about what we discussed earlier? It's something you said you never had actually thought about or paid any attention before. What two sports get the most value?
You asked me this earlier about basketball and baseball?
No, basketball and football.
And football, yeah.
Okay, and Panini has the license.
Yep.
How many products does Panini put odds on the box or a pack or whatever?
None.
No odds, no sort of even possible algorithm, mathematical equation that you could even come up with what print runs are. But yet people still throw dollar after dollar after dollar after dollar out there on product that nobody has a damn clue. They could be printing 2019 Prism until 2021 and sending it to distributors to stock and sell to a breaker or, Blowout. I mean, Blowout still got Prism from, I want to say 2014 up there on the shelf.
No, you're absolutely right, and it's something I've had. I'm concerned about. I think monopolies, these exclusive licenses, are danger to the hobby. And I'll just say this: when I go back and I think about Ben Simmons, if people want to say, "Oh, the bubble's going to pop," I do agree. Eventually, there will be some decrease in the value of these cards. Some of them are way overhyped. Do you want to point to somebody who's responsible? It's Panini. Panini's responsible, and we have enabled them to do it because we keep buying it. Right? We talked about this earlier. Panini doesn't have to put autographs in a choice product, a T-mail product, or anything. They can put, maybe an autograph in there, and then the autographs they put in there most of them are crappy sticker autographs.
But and they're players that are nobody.
Yeah, and they can print as many freaking refractors because again, people aren't buying choice and T-mail chasing Zion autos only. They're chasing any color of a Zion or any color of a refractor. And what even blows my mind this year is the LeBron cards. I do not understand how Zion 17th season has cards that are going for hundreds of dollars. Like his base Prism, getting the PSA 10 going for that makes no sense. I don't care if he's in his first time wearing a Lakers jersey. That just doesn't make sense to me at all.
Well, one of my group members and subscribers, we were talking just like an hour or so ago. Who in their right mind would have ever thought second year cards would be worth anything? I bought those boxes from that card show. They were 50-cent boxes, and I bought those 23 boxes. So far, I have now found Kawhi Leonard second year Prism, which is up over $100.
Yeah.
And Damian Lillards second year Prism, that's up to $100. 2 cards out of 23 boxes. And when that guy sold them to me and had them in a 50-cent box, he had the same thought. Oh, it's a second-year card. It's not worth anything.
Yeah. Which I think that's one of the things that will correct because, and this is really, you can blame this on The Last Dance. Okay, Last Dance comes out. Everybody's got Michael Jordan fever. No one can afford a Michael Jordan rookie. Not no one, but most people can't. So what do you go chase? Well, I'll get a second-year card. I'll get a third-year card. Michael Jordan, in my opinion, is the exception to the rule. That is the only player that I think you can buy a second or third-year card and find great value on. Maybe.
I don't know necessarily you could pin it all on that. Because I mentioned something, and this goes back into the baseball conversation. I mentioned something, I don't know, several weeks ago. Mike Trout.
Yep.
Trout's rookie's up, $3,000 now on a PSA 10.
Yeah.
Not everybody can afford that. So they're going to look for the next thing. And, that's why I mentioned his 2012 Topps Chrome card. He didn't have a 2011 Topps Chrome.
Yeah.
So I told everybody, hey, check this out. Check out the 2012 Topps Chrome. It's his first Chrome card.
Yep. And that's a little bit.
What's that?
That's a little different. Because you're right. That is his first time having that product, having a Chrome card. So there's a little, it's not in his 17th year though, having a Chrome card printed.
Well, that's the whole Lakers hype, and everybody thinks they're like. I'll be honest. One thing that I am curious to see, and I love LeBron. Don't get me wrong, but I am really curious what happens if they get knocked out.
I don't think they will. I think again, there's too many.
I know we discussed that earlier. You think that the league's going to make it to where LeBron gets that title, and it could be true, but I don't want to believe that sports are ever in that position to put a player on the pedestal to get him the title.
He's also got Kobe helping him, man. Kobe's looking down from above. Okay, Kobe's gonna tip the ball to him.
Yeah, well, I know that I'm not much older than LeBron. And I know I'm not in the shape that LeBron is, But I also know that even in the shape he's in, he's got to be feeling it a little bit, and he don't have much help around him.
Yeah.
AD had a couple of good games in them 8 bubble games. Other than that, Kuzma maybe, but there's some good teams out there.
Like I say, that's what's exciting. There are good teams, and I think what's exciting is for years we've been watching the Warriors, right? For the last 5 years, it's been Warriors and either Cleveland, and last year was Raptors. So for the first time, who knows? I think the Lakers have a good chance. It could be the Clippers. I'm just excited. I really am. In fact, this whole week is awesome because you've got 4 basketball games every freaking day.
I'm going to tell you, there's some teams out there, but I'm not going to lie, and maybe because, I like the guy. Some people hate him. I like him. Actually, there's 2 guys. I wouldn't mind if Lillard made it because I think he has that.
I love that.
He's got that mentality, and he said I think he wants to actually win it for Portland.
I agree.
But I gotta say, man, I know people love Luka and Zion and Trey and Ja and all of them. Giannis is on another level.
He is. He's special.
And people overlook the Bucks with Chris Middleton, who's a damn good player.
Yeah.
And then if DiVincenzo could pick his game up, and help them make a push. And talking about Prism Silvers and all that, go on and look at how much a DiVincenzo silver is.
I have no idea. I hope they're high because I have a few of them.
They're not.
They're not.
I got a few of them too. They're not. And it surprised me. The starting point guard for the Milwaukee Bucks and his Prism isn't.
I'm still shocked over how they lost last year. If you remember, they were up 2-0 against the Raptors. And I was like, and they were crushing everybody. And I'm like, okay, this game's over. In fact, I remember saying to myself, this is going to be Giannis' year because the Warriors were wounded and stuff. And then the Raptors beat them, won the next 4 games. They were down 2-0, and they won the next 4 games to go 6-game series. That blows my mind.
Well,
after that, I hope, if I could pick a team to win, I'd like to see Giannis win because I would like to see him win the trophy. I'd like to see the East win it. I think they'd be exciting. I think it's going to be LeBron. If it's not LeBron, I would love to see Kawhi on the way as well. Just because I'm a big fan of what Kawhi's done. And I also think silently, the guy is building a resume that you could argue he's one of the best players in this generation as well. He's still young and win a lot more trophies. He's an amazing player.
Yeah, you're speaking of Giannis, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's already got the MVP.
If he doesn't, do you think he stays in Milwaukee? Or do you think he will win a title? Because I think that's another thing, too. If he doesn't win a title this year, I think his contract ends next year. If he doesn't win one this year, it isn't in a position to win one next year. Does he stick around in Milwaukee to try to win a title, or does he go somewhere else and build a power team, And think about this. Think about him being traded to a major market, man. You think his cards are worth money now? Think of him being, again, any bigger market, Chicago, New York, L.A. I mean, he's in Milwaukee right now.
What if he, and I'm going to throw this out there, that I don't see it happening. And this, I noticed this the other night. What about his brothers?
Where's his younger brother? His brother got traded, right?
Costas is in L.A. and actually, I think it was 14 points in the last bubble game for the Lakers.
Wow.
And then his other brother, where's the other one?
I don't know. Is the other one in the?
Oh, the other one is in Milwaukee with him.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, one is in Milwaukee with him, and then I believe his Costas is in L.A. And he put up like 14 the other night.
I have his brother's cards. Does his brother in Milwaukee, does he have cards? Did I miss him?
I don't think I've ever seen any of those. I know Costas is in 18 Prism.
Which reminds me, this has been a really weird year in the sense you've had in basketball a lot of these players who didn't have rookie cards, right? Like Kendrick Nunn, who just got a Prism update card. Terrence Mann, I think, was another one. And then who's the shooter for the Miami Heat? Duncan Robinson, I think it is.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys don't even have rookie cards out.
Oh, well, it's just like Optic. I pulled a Terrence Davis purple auto, and it was the insert auto. It's not the base.
Yeah.
And I was like, who in the hell is this? Looked it up. He's a rookie that's playing really good for, I believe it was the Raptors.
Yes. Yeah.
And never, I didn't even, when you're pulling the cards and you don't see the name, you're like, who in the hell is this? They just threw some no-namer in there. And then happened to look him up. He was actually a decent player.
Yeah.
So
there's deep classes in basketball. Basketball, I think, another thing I like about basketball, I think it takes a few years for those players really to develop, right? Where like football, the careers are so much shorter. If they haven't developed in 3 years, football players, could be out of the league quickly. Where basketball players, they get 3 years to show themselves off. So I'm a bigger fan of that. What are your thoughts on football this year? What are you looking at? Are you going to be collecting anybody or chasing anybody? Or
I said that I wanted to get back into football.
yeah.
Because as we discussed earlier, when in 2017, that's what I was into. The problem is, football is one of those. It's just hard to figure out exactly how to approach it for me anyway.
Yeah.
With only rookies really having any sort of value or interest to anybody or whatever, it's kind of like, do you crack boxes and pray you get a quarterback? If you don't get a quarterback, do you just toss money away? Because the problem I have with it is, majority of the time you might get one quarterback that has growth.
Yeah.
17 Mahomes, 18 Lamar.
Well, this year we got 4 or 5 quarterbacks. I'll tell you what I'm looking at. I'm really interested to see the Mosaic product. Now it's a first-year product in football, but they did so well in basketball, right? So I have 2, and again, they're coming out in football with prisms in it. They're gonna have all the color in it, and it's gonna be a retail product. So I'm gonna look at Mosaic football.
What did we just talk about?
The first-year cards, first-year products.
Panini.
Oh, I understand, but there's no choice with football.
How many products are they going to... It's like the hybrid product and the fast break in basketball and this and that. And
when it comes to football, I haven't done any football yet. Like, you're right. I don't do any of the draft football products at all. I can't stand the college product, right? I don't like the ones that are out right now, Luminance, Elements, all that stuff, because they typically don't have a long run. And normally in football, the only thing I chase is Prisms, Contenders, and Optic. Are really the only things I go after. And then if I can, I'll chase, the NT first off the line boxes, which are impossible to get now. But this year, just because the way the season is and because of all the people in football and my boys love retail, I think we're going to play around with Mosaic and see how it goes. But we're not going to go deep into it. But I'm going to I'm curious to see how Mosaic will be accepted.
It's probably going to get bought up just like basketball, if I had to guess.
Well, last year, that's another thing too. Last year, football sat on the retail for a while. Like I could still pick up Prism packs in November, December, even in January. It wasn't until like March where you can't find anything. So
that's what exactly I said last night, and what we talked about earlier. Yeah. It was between March and June, everything went away.
Yeah.
Unless you camped there, and I have to go to work every day, so I don't get to camp.
Yeah, I still hear the calling, like when I drive by a Target. Like I do my grocery shopping at Walmart because I go check out the Walmart card section. If it wasn't for that, I'd probably go shopping somewhere else. But they do get me because I'll go in there and just, hey, I'm going to check it, just see if it's there. Every now and then, I will say, a few years ago, I did pull some of those. I want to say the Donruss packs, the discounted Donruss packs, and I pulled a Mahomes rookie out of that. So that was one of the best, discount packs I ever bought at Walmart.
Man, Donruss hates me. I can't even tell you how many of 18 I opened chasing Lamar, and then we found, I don't know, it was the same thing, the clearance packs, and I was like, oh, this is sweet. Shit.
Yeah.
All it would have took was one card to make what I spent, but it didn't happen.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's still fun. Um, but did you have any other questions, topics?
Well, again, I
We've kind of went a spectrum.
I really appreciate, like I said, I want to talk about the baseball, which I think you did a good job explaining the different series. I'm just curious. What I'd love to hear from you in the future, and I'll probably reach out to you too, is when do you see these products coming out? Like, when will update come out? Is it something that, will Topps do what they do last year? They did the Sapphire. That's Bowman Sapphire, right? Is there a Topps?
No, there's Topps Chrome Sapphire, and it is a huge product, but
Is that only direct, or is there? How do you buy that?
online, and you might as well figure out how bots work if you want one.
So is it similar? Does Topps have the same issues that Panini Direct has?
Oh yeah, they like half the time Topps website don't even work.
Okay. Well, at least I'll say this. At least they haven't started the Dutch oven auctions. I mean, I can't stand what Panini's doing with that.
Oh, you mean to start from the top and work it down?
Yeah,
So if it gets below the price that they want for it, they can say it's sold out and then send it out in a pallet to whoever's willing to pay them for it.
Exactly. So at least, I mean, I know Topps, again, here's what I'll say. Let me know, and I'm sure you let people know too. But when stuff's out, I applaud Topps for at least putting it out there and making the effort. If their servers crash, at least they're trying.
I'm gonna tell you though, I want to say it was Bowman Sapphire.
Yeah.
I didn't even get it. I didn't get an email notification. I didn't even see it on the website. Actually, one of my group members, subscribers, hit me up and was like, "Hey, you're gonna try to get any?" And I was like, "What the hell are you talking about? I didn't even know it was coming out."
Yeah.
So that's even gotten a little less notified, because normally they'd email you and say, "Hey, coming in 3 days or whatever, new product," or they would. I didn't even see a tweet, because they normally tweet out, "Hey, live in 12 hours," or whatever it is they put on there.
Yeah.
I didn't see nothing for it.
You're right. Panini's like that too. They used to be more. Now I'll say both sites, in my opinion, are terrible to navigate. Like, I was looking on Topps yesterday because apparently Topps is doing their Bowman soccer tomorrow, and I was looking for information on that, and I couldn't find it. So I'm just going to wait till tomorrow to see when that comes out. But they don't. I don't know.
It's like they changed that they're notifying people.
I also understand it's 2020. They're all making some money. They could invest a little money in some infrastructure and some web servers. I mean, I know there's bots and stuff like that, but
there's also ways to counter them.
Exactly. To me, it's a convenient excuse they use. Like, that's Panini's excuse for the Dutch auction is that, well, we had so many bots, so we decided we just charge customers more money. Instead of taking the money and buying more servers, they decided to just raise the price. So.
Or just saying, "Hey, we're gonna put it," the allocation thing really is what gets me. Is if they say 2 per customer max, if I can't get in and even buy 2 boxes, then how is somebody able to have 10, 15, 20 accounts that they can switch from, check out everything else, and get this max limit? I mean, that's not humanly possible.
Let me tell you a little story I heard from our mutual friend at Blowout, Fantastic Store, Andrew, told me this. Back in 2017, when the first off the line Prism came out, basketball and football, by the way, the basketball crashed the day one. The football sat there for weeks and didn't sell out. Now, the day one when basketball crashed, everybody complained. I had a friend who complained they tried to get an order and didn't get in there. And then later on, orders started processing. People started getting processing. Well, it turns out Panini had a problem. And later that day, the server came back up, and friends of mine were able to go in there and buy as much as they wanted at the price, which was at the time $120 for a Prism box. So again, it just shows you that these websites, they don't know what they're doing, and if you pay attention to them, they'll put products up there that you're shocked to find out they even have out. So I monitor the Panini site pretty much daily. I started spending more time on Top site daily, just because again, if you're not paying attention, that's part of the thing is information, right? When they put the stuff out, when it's available.
Right, and speaking of Andrew, though, he never would admit bots, but he did tell me that they had, because I asked him one time, I was like, "How in the hell do y'all get so much of this online stuff?" And he said something about they had 13 or 17 accounts or something like that. He never would admit bots,
Yeah,
but
I don't think it was bots either. And I've spoken to
I think they might even pay people to
Yes,
sit
exactly.
there to order.
Yeah, but they also
But they have a lot of accounts.
they'll buy stuff from you. Yeah, you can buy, like I got a first off the line flawless box back in 2017. You know, at the time it's 1,500, right, direct from Panini. I walked into that shop and sold it for 2,500, right,
Yeah.
from me. So you're right. They do buy a lot. They have people in the area who will go out and buy retail, and they'll buy the retail off them. I could take my retail to them. They'd buy it from me, right?
You know how close I am to there, and you
Yep.
travel to Northern Virginia a lot. You know the Gainesville area, Manassas,
Yep.
you know that whole area. I'm gonna be honest with you. I never travel up there
I
to
don't
look for product.
I don't blame you.
A, the traffic and everything, but B, I'm like, what in the hell is the point? However, I'm gonna tell you, when we went up there one day, I had to use the bathroom, and I know sometimes their bathroom, there's somebody already in there and everything. So, you know the Target.
Yep.
Would you believe that Target was actually fully stocked?
No.
Right there next to them. It was fully stocked. I could not believe that.
That blows my mind. You got lucky. Because it's funny. I know that they checked that store.
Well, it wasn't like, you know, Prism and Optic and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But it would just surprise me compared to Culpeper, which you've seen. You go up there right next to their shop, and there's product there. And I was like, the only thing I could think of is people don't even go there because they're like, why? You know, they can just go right there to blow out, so that Target only gets hit by whatever they want. And that could be the case, but it just cracked me up because I'm like, I can't find nothing around where I live, and I go into the Target that's right next to Blowout, and it's stocked.
It's funny. I saw somebody post earlier, too, you know, people complain about the retail. I know people getting it and all that stuff. And the one thing I will say is, look, it's still available. If you hustle and you get it, you're lucky to get it. If you don't get it, I will tell you, your local card store will go buy it. Like, don't think that, you know, you saw it on the shelf and you left some for the kids. You didn't leave it for the kids. You left it for your local card store. They're the ones who are going to go out and buy retail as well.
I will give credit though, card seller, and I know you've been there.
Yeah.
Bart, I straight up ask him where he gets his retail from. He doesn't go to the store and buy it up.
Right.
He actually, his distributor gives him allocations to be able to order from him because of the price of hobby right now. You know that shop's in a smaller town. You know, the people most of them aren't going to come in there and pay, you know, $300, $400, $500 for a hobby box.
Yeah.
So in order to supplement, and you've seen he has other things in that shop, but in order to keep the card products moving, he has been ordering retail from his distributor. He just doesn't enjoy. He straight up told me, he said, I am a hobby shop. I don't want to be selling retail.
Yeah.
But it's the only option I have because most of my customers
Can't afford.
won't be able to. And he has a lot of kids that come in there.
Yeah.
You know, when speaking on kids, he does have a lot of kids that come in that shop. So that he's told me, because I've asked him straight up, and Bart is a stand-up guy. And in fact, I've asked him before about a product, and he emailed his distributor right when I was standing there.
That's awesome.
So
Can you get some pre-sales of Prism retail? Should ask him. The Prism-
I don't know if he does or not.
I would say so. 2 years ago, I had a friend who I could order retail Prism from pre-order, and last year he couldn't get me Zion, and this year he's already telling me he can't get it either. But that's one thing I'm telling people. You know, let's be honest, you're not going to get it for $20 a blaster. Okay, so if you can pre-order it for $25 a blaster, that's really great right now.
Right.
But
well, if I get some, I get some. If not, I ain't gonna stress over it. It's been 5 months since I've
found retail.
Yeah, I mean we found a little bit here and there on the slight occasion, but
What's your favorite retail product?
oh,
Like for me, it's Prism basketball. I love Prism basketball.
I love Prism basketball simply because of the money I can make
Yeah, see,
selling the cards.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you, between Prism and Optic,
Yeah.
I didn't get as much Optic, but we had a blast with Optic.
What's funny, I like the Optic cards more because they remind me of the 80s with the rated rookie, right? I'm a huge fan of the Kosenko, the rated rookie card.
If you could see my shelf back there,
Yeah.
I have a Luka and a Zion, and they are both the Don Russ.
Yeah.
Because of the rated rookie logo, and I've said that many times on this channel. I don't care, about the prisms or anything like that. I love that rated rookie design, and those are the ones I've chosen to keep.
Yeah, and I agree. I think most collectors feel that way. It's just, in fact, I'm really sad that there's no baseball rated rookies.
They have them in Optic.
But they do, but you know what I'm saying? It's not Don. It's Panini. Pardon me.
Yeah, it's not licensed. Yeah, I get you.
I don't. One thing I will say is I buy Panini because I do football and basketball, but I try not to buy Panini baseball. I try not to buy. I want them to stay in their swim lane. It pisses me off when they're not in their swim lane.
I buy singles from my collection, which that wall back there is all my Nat stuff, and I'll buy patches and stuff like that are from NT or Flawless or whatever. But I won't go buy packs and stuff.
Yeah, you're right. They have some good relics, some good memorabilia, and some of their products, but they just drive me crazy with stay in your lane. Yeah.
Right. But all right, man. You got anything else for the people?
No, man. This has been great. I really appreciate it, and I've seen a lot of good chat in a lot of comments in the chat. I can't see any questions or anything, but I really appreciate the time. It's great catching up with you as always, man. Someday we're gonna meet in person, grab some food, and go check out.
Sure thing, man. Hit me up. I'm normally around.
Game with you sometime. I see you go to a lot of minor league games. I think that'd be fun to do.
That COVID sucks so bad because Fredericksburg opened that new ballpark and they've been showing movies. They haven't even played a baseball game there, and we collect the bobbleheads, and we haven't been able to go and get anything. So it kind of sucks, but
listen, do me a favor. Tell your wife I said hi and thank you as well, because I know she's been doing all the chat for us.
Yeah, she's in the chat room.
She's always there behind you. You got an amazing wife, by the way, to have somebody who supports you so much in the hobby, man. That's awesome.
I am pretty blessed.
I'm divorced, so.
I've been there, and I finally found a good one.
Yeah. Well, man, it's been great talking to you guys. Everybody out there, really appreciate it. Thank you very much. I'll see you guys tomorrow, my daily update, and I'll see you in your chat in the future, Brandon.
All right, man. Have a good night, and everybody out there, remember, stay safe, stay healthy, and until the next video, I'm out.
Thank you.